guys, let's get into the minicamp talk here because we've been talking OTA. Now it's time for a little minicamp there.
It's so tiny.
What's cool is the picture too. That's the big thing is on the top hand on the left hand side for those guys watching video here. The Giants wide receivers, Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt, and Malik Neighbors got together and reenacted the Spider-Man meme, the famous Spider-Man meme. If you don't know what it is, just Google Spider-Man meme. It'll come right up. It's kind of a big thing for us going over social media. I liked it. Because you know what? The big thing for me I liked about it is that they're doing something together.
Exactly. And they're having fun doing it. We want
those three to get along and work together as a unit. We really do. Like, that's key. So the fact that they're already doing something like that together, and I don't know if it was scripted or not. I mean, but the fact that they're already doing something together like that tells you that these guys are getting along.
Yeah.
You don't celebrate with people that you don't really like that are just coworkers you don't want to really deal with, but you kind of have to.
Yeah.
We all have those coworkers. We all do. Everybody thinks everybody in the team gets along. That's not the way it works. It's just like your job. There's people you have to work with you may not like. That's life.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
You get bosses sometimes you don't like.
Yeah, seriously. No, nobody works for me likes me, that's for sure. But so let's go over a little bit of the who didn't practice here. So that's because that's a big talk here. Right tackle Evan Neal with the ankle injury from last year did not practice. We're going to go over him in a little bit. There we go over the injuries in a different segment there. Cornerback Aaron Robinson with a knee continued to miss practice there. No news there. That's pretty much par for the course. Wide receiver kick returner Gunner Olszewski, who was injured early during the OTAs, also missed practice. Tight end Daniel Bellinger did not do any work with the team periods, but insisted after practice he is not injured, which I thought was a little weird. Why hold him out? But it's got to be a reason. It's got to be a reason. But we have no clue. Daniel Jones didn't do any work during the 11-11 series out of precaution. Obviously, he's coming off that ACL injury from last season there. Let him get healthy fully. You guys get 6 weeks before the next camp year. That's when training camp opens up. So why rush it when you're not going to see him for 6 weeks? You think him having 1 or 2 practices is going to help him that much? That's more for the young guys. More for the young guys and more so you can see the guys that you need to make opinions on. That's where it's important for. Daniel Jones is not going anywhere, and Daniel Jones has been with this team for multiple years now. Injured during the practice, and we're going to go over all these guys also in a separate segment here in a little bit, but Darius Slayton, Bryce Ford-Wheaton, and Chase Cota. So a lot of wide receivers. Not so wide on the receivers anymore.
Nope.
Getting a little thin there. Now, most of the action we have, really, guys, is from Monday. Today, the 12th there, we had the second day of minicamp. It was a very light workout. It really was. It was a lot more media talk and stuff like that. So during the drills, Daniel Jones got most of the reps at QB with the skills players. Obviously, again, he didn't do workouts during the 11-11, so it makes sense to get him a little time with the players then. Offensive line coach Carmen Bricillo spent a lot of time with combo blocks as he wanted to build up chemistry with the groups. Obviously, a lot of new faces on that group there. A lot of underperforming faces from last year's roster as well. Bricillo worked specifically with the tackles and the tight ends, while assistant O-line coach James Ferentz worked with the guards and the centers. They practice moving in sync during zone runs and combo blocking a defensive lineman. So, I like that they're doing that, though. I really do, because we've had issues with stunts left and right. So the fact that we're working and trying to get these guys working together as duos and making them used to working next to each other and seeing what they do to each other at that point so they kind of know where to play off each other, that's key. Yeah, you didn't hear a lot about that with Bobby Johnson when he was in there as an offensive line coach. That's not to say they never did it, but I don't remember that ever being emphasized like, hey, they spent a lot of time on this during any of the practice in the camps. It was more like last year. It was like, hey, we're switching this up. We're switching that up. We're switching this up. And then they wonder why they can't get consistency.
They were just plugging and playing. That's all they were doing.
Yeah, like you want to get whatever you think the best line is, and you want to go ahead and try to get them working together as much as you can this offseason. Again, especially with all the new faces. Keep in mind, we're going to have 2 new guards. So both sides of the line are going to have a new player. And we very well may have a new right tackle. We're hoping. We're praying.
Yeah.
Keep going like this.
Yeah. Please.
Or at least that Evan Neal becomes Evan Neal we thought he was going to be out of college. I'll be happy with that, too. Don't get me wrong. I'll still always hold a little bit of a grudge for the flipping and burger comment he made. But, I don't like everyone players disrespect fans. Like, we're allowed to be upset. We pay your bills, basically.
We 100% pay their bills.
If we don't watch you guys and we don't pay for merchandise, you guys don't get a salary. So show a little respect. We pay your bills.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when a mayor or like a town councilman or senator or something like that goes, "Oh, I don't have time to talk to my constituents." God damn it, we put you there. It's kind of the same exact thing. Like, we put these guys at these pedestal and these positions to make money and make a living playing football. Respect that. Anyway, let's get off my soapbox here. Anyway, the tackles also worked with the tight ends, with the drills focusing on tight ends chipping a defensive end to block in tandem with the tackles. I like that too as well, because we got guys now. We've talked about it before. Bellinger and Theo Johnson both are guys who can catch the ball if need be. Theo Johnson probably a little better than Daniel Bellinger is that. We'll see how much better as the season goes on since he's a rookie. But if you're going to send these guys out on routes, chipping can be huge, guys. Absolutely huge. Because especially on the right side, if Evan Neal is there, he might need a little help. But even Andrew Thomas, as much as I'm a huge fan of Andrew Thomas's work and all, that doesn't mean you can't give him a little help so often. Especially when he's playing against, a guy like Micah Parsons or something like that. There's nothing wrong with giving him a little chip shot as you're going out for a route and helping Thomas out.
Not at all.
Just because he's a really good player doesn't mean you take advantage of that. We talked about jobs before. It's almost like when you're the best one at your job and they keep piling more work on you. Like, you don't want to make Andrew Thomas feel like that.
No. But, I mean, I'm sure he wants that offensive line to be good. And I know what you're saying. And DJ upright, but I'm sure he'll take on some extra work. But at the same time,
to help.
But at the same time, when you're going against Micah Parsons, you want as much help as you can get.
You think we play the Browns? He might want to help there. I mean,
yeah, right. Maybe
he's playing some top guys this year. So, anyway, on the 11-11 drills there. So started with a completion from Drew Lock over to Malik Neighbors on Monday, and then a scramble. Wan'Dale Robinson caught a nice ball over the middle and then pulled away from the defense for what would have been probably about a 50-yard, completion touchdown combo, depending on, what would have happened if they didn't stop and blow the whistle there. Tommy DeVito hit Bryce Ford-Wheaton on a deep crosser route. Elijah Chapman, though, we got to mention, got into the backfield, and that may have ended the play on a sack before the ball was overthrown. Again, I keep on. It's horrible when you look at this stuff. Same as the OTAs. It's a love-hate thing, because it's like, I love that a guy got in the backfield and could have got to the quarterback, but I also hate that a guy got in the backfield and could have got to the quarterback. It's like, both sides of the ball play for us. So it's like, whenever somebody does something good, that means somebody else did something bad. Nathan Rourke got 2 passes knocked down by Caleb Hayes. During a no huddle period, the defense was pretty strong and able to force the offense to throw the ball away a few times. During red zone drills, the defense seemed to win the round. Cordell Flott prevented a completion. Boogie Basham got into the backfield. Now, I got to say,
he's getting back there quite a few times.
I say exactly. There's a lot of reports, and listen, there's one of two scenarios going on. Either the Giants are trying to beef up his value because they might want to trade him if they don't think he's going to make the roster, or he's stepped it up a little bit this year. I'm really hoping it's the latter, obviously, because we're a little thin at that edge position there once you get past the big three. Obviously you got Kayvon and Brian Burns there. Aziz, when he's healthy, is good, but past that, we're counting on Boogie. We're counting on Timon Fox. Like, we're counting on people that you don't really want to have to count on. So, we'll see what happens there. Brian Burns, though, speaking of him there, also got in the backfield, also disrupted a pass play. During team drills, Deontay Banks had great coverage on Jalen Hyatt on a deep route. Again, that's another love-hate thing. Because Hyatt's a guy I really want to see step up this year. I would love to see him take a nice and we've all talked about it before the show enough. I don't want to keep beating the dead horse, but Darius Slayton we're big fans of. But if he's not in the future plans, I would prefer Jalen Hyatt beats him and leapfrogs him in the depth chart. May not be what's best for Slayton, but it's what's best for the Giants.
Correct.
At least in the long term there. But you're hearing a lot of like, this person kept up with Jalen Hyatt. This person kept up with Jalen Hyatt this route. Jalen Hyatt, his big thing is speed. If he can't create separation, then that's an issue. That's why you get a speedy guy. Elijah Riley knocked a ball away there. Drew Phillips had the play of the whole minicamp there. Got a nice interception off the hands of Dennis Houston there, the wide receiver formerly of Dallas. Jalen Hyatt at least gives you some positive news. We talked a little about him a minute ago. Caught a nice long pass down the sideline, which would have been a touchdown basically in a regular game if they hadn't blown the whistle. Theo Johnson did catch a touchdown from Tommy DeVito. So, yeah, had some
a little sauce on it.
A little sauce on it.
Yeah.
So, but again, guys, the last 2 days are basically like a glorified OTA with a little more contact. That's all a minicamp is.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to give you the ooh and the ah and go over this stuff. It's basically underwear Olympics with a little more contact. It's not that much different. So, again, take everything you hear with a grain of salt, because everybody that pretty much reports on this stuff has an agenda of some kind. So we just give you what the Giants give us, directly, and then let you, kind of give you a little bit of what we think that might say. But, in the end, nothing matters until you actually get live action at that point with the full,
look at last year
at that point there against another team. I'm more curious to see what the joint practices when that kind of stuff happens. If we get smacked by the Lions again in joint practices, then we get ticked off.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.